Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and here I am to cover some FIFA World Cup. We got Uruguay versus Spain. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And why am I doing this other than the World Cup? It's because it actually matters to South Korea. As much as South Korea did unfortunately lose to South Africa, putting them on the brink of elimination, and that none of the games that needed to go Korea's way yesterday didn't work out at all. They went literally 0 for 3, 0 for 4, whatever it was. It was absolutely insane. There are still chances, despite also Senegal just absolutely just destroying Iraq 5-0. We've got Uruguay and Spain, and if Spain beats Uruguay, the magic number will go down to 2. And also, if Egypt defeats Iran tonight, that will be the magic number of 1. But however, according to my Korean brother Joel Kim, which I will pull it up in just a few moments, I'm just trying to look for. I believe he lives in Korea too. Here's what they would need after Spain beats Uruguay and Egypt beats Iran. We've got Austria must beat Algeria, or Algeria must beat Austria by 2. But if that doesn't work, we've got Uzbekistan needs to tie or beat Congo, which I don't see that happening because Uzbekistan, they've already lost in just humiliating fashion. Or Ghana must beat Croatia. And I heard it was possibly by 2. I don't think that is the case. I think just winning a game is just more than enough to get to Korea. So Korea still has opportunities, but the opportunities are just absolutely thinning. But it doesn't really matter because South Korea really did do this to themselves. And it's so much that it's really already consuming much of the show. So I'm just going to be quiet and just go to the Uruguay game. Now, there is a rumor that has been going on that according to the Madrid zone, and they have 1.7 million followers, which I can see has credibility. Fede Varalde and several teammates spoke to Marcelo Bielsa and complained about the team's training methods and tactics. The players believe that the training sessions are too intense and have led to injuries. They have also argued Uruguay should play with a low block against Spain and rely on counterattacks, something that Korea doesn't even do. Bielsa then gathered the entire squad, spoke for 48 minutes while looking at the floor, accusing some of the players for trying to get him sacked twice. He also said that he made careers of certain players and insisted that Uruguay should play Spain man-to-man. So, yeah, some turmoil going on in Uruguay right now. So, hopefully, that could be a little bit helpful for Korea. Maybe the mindset of Uruguay is just gone. So we're just going to have to see where it exactly goes. But what matters is that what's at stake for Spain is they have to win the group. And I'm going into the 2026 FIFA World Cup page. I mean, Uruguay has a lot at stake themselves. And the crazy thing is, if they actually tie, they have a good shot to actually qualify for the World Cup, for the round of 16. And teams have already been chosen. There are teams already chosen going into the round of 32. But here is what is at stake for Uruguay. So Uruguay, they are to... Man, where's the Uruguay group? So Uruguay, who had just tied against, disappointingly, Cape Verde. And by the way, Cape Verde is in very good position to... I mean, if in Cape Verde, they're playing Saudi Arabia. That's another matchup that... I mean, everyone's pretty much writing it off that Cape Verde is probably going to beat Saudi Arabia. And you also can't even have them tie, because if Saudi Arabia does not, if Saudi Arabia loses or ties, Cape Verde will automatically get ahead of South Korea. So we're pretty much writing off the fact that Cape Verde is probably going to be a lost cause. As for Uruguay, if they want to advance, they would preferably have to win so that Cape Verde stays at third place. And if they win, they will go over Spain. So a lot is at stake for Uruguay themselves. So this is going to be a very intense group that I would expect, unless Saudi Arabia can come up with something out of their butts, because Saudi Arabia has been very disappointing in this World Cup, especially considering in the last World Cup, they actually beat Argentina in the opening match, but then they just completely flamed out in the World Cup, losing in the first round. But we are getting to it. We're getting to the games. And we're getting into that national anthems, and it's going to be of Uruguay and Spain. So the thing is, so you cannot have a tie, but Saudi Arabia has to win. If Saudi Arabia wins, then Korea might have a good chance, but I don't think that it. But it may not even be relevant. I mean, that doesn't really make any changes, I guess. I mean, Senegal, they're still technically on the waiting. So is Paraguay, who's also on the waiting, but they all have priority over South Korea. So I don't think the Cape Verde game if Cape Verde wins, then they are going to be ahead of South Korea in the differential. So that may just actually, unfortunately, put them in the brink, which would absolutely be devastating for South Korea. So Saudi Arabia has to somehow beat Cape Verde. I gotta ask my friend Joel Kim if that's the case. That's what I'm gonna ask him. And he's been really good about it. He's been really good about communications of keeping me updated. It looks like the national anthem is about to get ready. Uruguay. So everyone, let's stand up for the national anthem of Uruguay. And now please remain standing for the national anthem of Spain. And those are the national anthems of Uruguay and Spain. Those are one of the favorite parts of my World Cup is just listening to all the national anthems. Hello, Daniel Barry. How's it going? We got Riley, one of my new followers on Twitter. All this relying on other countries hurts my head rather than just take the L and start the chaos in Korea. I mean, the sad thing too is the one bad side of South Korea going into the round of 32 is that there probably won't even be any kind of there won't be any kind of like repercussions. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of like fire Hong Byung-bo kind of thing. Riley, I cannot click on that other one. I just can't click on it. I just won't do it. It gets me in trouble. Won't do it. But yeah, who would have thought that Korea has to absolutely depend on literally everyone? It's just absolutely pathetic of exactly where we're at. And I think also Saudi Arabia, I wonder if Joel has said anything. Because I think that Cape Verde would put. I mean, let's say that Cape Verde, they don't. Let's say they win, right? Or let's say they tie, right? If Cape Verde advanced, then that could put South Korea on the downturn. So that, I mean, Cape Verde is going to be it's going to be very, I don't know. I mean, I wonder what Joel said about Cape Verde. Derek Ray is actually on the call. I actually do like Derek Ray. He's one of my favorites. I mean, he didn't put Cape Verde in part of it. I'm kind of wondering why he didn't. Because Cape Verde would effectively bump down South Korea. Because that would make it critical for the Croatia game. Now here are the starters for Spain, and it's crazy to think I'm only doing this just for South Korea's sake. The starters for Spain, we got Simon, Lorente, Gerbasi, Laporte, Cucurella, Pedri, Rodri, Marino, Yamal. I can't even pronounce these guys' names. They got Nunez for Uruguay. I mean, I can't really pronounce these names at all. And the other thing is, if Cape Verde is to win, it actually doesn't matter as long as Spain wins. So Spain, as long as they win, then the Cape Verde thing will be out of factor. It looks like they are getting ready real soon, but it looks like they're doing some kind of like no racism kind of messaging or a moment of silence. Oh, it's for the moment of silence of Venezuela. And that's the moment of silence. And now it is time to get started on this Uruguay game. The Venezuela earthquake has been very devastating to them. Hopefully, not as many people died as they may have. 3,600 people, almost 50,000 people are missing. 920 people have been killed. And now the game has begun. And this start is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, use that promo code Rooftop Sports. Tickets are verified and legitimate. And we are 10 seconds in, and not much activity has been going on. They're at the Guadalajara Stadium in Mexico. Spain in the whites and Uruguay in the blues. And again, for South Korea's sake, Spain has to win. And now here is Spain. They're actually coming in with the aggression. And now here is an open. Now here's a pass. And no, it was going to be a shot, but that was deflected. But now it's going to be corner kick. Uruguay has had their problems. They're already not off to a good start. And Uruguay has to win. And they have to hope that Cape Verde doesn't do anything of meaningful either. I think I want to watch the Cape Verde game at the same time. And it's only in the opening seconds, just a minute 34, and they're already on a corner kick. Now here's the corner, and now it's going to be caught by the goalkeeper. Now Spain's already attacking. I mean, this could be trouble for Uruguay already. I'm also going to watch the Cape Verde game at the same time. We're at 2:15. Spain pretty much has possession, control of the game. And then Uruguay, they're trying to fight for their lives, and Spain has to win. If there's a draw, that will put South Korea in a very deep hole. As if they're in a massive hole right now. Like, they need a lot of help. And the fact that they put themselves in this position is really embarrassing. And now it's going to be coming out. And you would think that the South Korean team, they are watching this game. Now here's a through ball, and that's going to get out, and that's going to be a goal kick. And at this point, it's pretty much like Korea waiting for the other teams to go their way. It's like the equivalence of being in a Sarlacc pit. And Spain's already on the high press. But nothing much has really happened. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, they're at tied right now. And if they tie, that could give trouble. Saudi Arabia is already down to a yellow card. If Cape Verde wins, that means they will. Cape Verde, if they win, they will automatically advance. Even if they tie and have Spain help them, that will also advance as a second seed. And Uruguay themselves will put themselves in danger of a third seed and pretty much out of contention. And now here's nothing going on. Is Uruguay. And now Spain, they get the ball back. Spain's expected to be one of the favorites of the World Cup. And right now, something's wrong with my camera. I think I'm going to have to refresh it. They could advance. They have a very healthy chance to advance to the round of 32. Someone saying that, yup, as deserved, Korea could be out of the World Cup. 48 team World Cup, and with even third place teams to qualify. Hong Nong-bo is a failure in 2014, repeated the same mistake by hiring him again in 26, has brought nothing but disgrace, exactly why the KFA deserves. This is exactly what the KFA deserves, but they are not going to take any accountability. And now here is a chance for Uruguay. The ball gets out. That was close. Uruguay had a chance to score. And the other thing, too, that might help, that if Saudi Arabia beats Cape Verde and Spain and even if Uruguay ties, per se, then Uruguay moves up to number 2, and Cape Verde would be possibly out of contention. And now it's going to be nothing doing. Football Pharaoh says, by my calculation, South Korea is a little worse than a coin flip's chance right now. They were hurt majorly by Senegal putting Iraq to the sword, Paraguay tying with Australia. Very much alive, but 40 to 50% only now. And it's also known that Hong Nong-bo is facing a mounting criticism at the national team's disappointing World Cup campaign, with questions over his tactics, squad selection, and shedding light on the controversial process that brought him back on the job. So there was a controversial process that really did bring him back the job. And it was very controversial how they even did it in the first place. And now here's a long ball. And Spain, they are very much in control. And that goes out of bounds. And that's going to be a corner kick for Spain. So they do have a good opportunity to score. And let's see if they do. Because, I mean, Korea needs all the help that they could get. We're at 7 minutes in. I want to remind what was Derek Ray all about. He actually called the South Korea-Portugal game. And now here's the corner kick, and nothing much doing, and that is going to be a goal kick. Very disappointing for Spain. I mean, you would think that Spain, as capable a team as they are, they would have a good chance to beat Uruguay. Actually, it's going to be another corner kick. So Spain, here's another chance, and here is the header. No. And Uruguay heads it out. And now Spain's just trying to get it back, but they're trying to be, Uruguay themselves is trying to be very aggressive. We're at 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes in. Nothing much has really happened in this game. You wouldn't really expect anything to happen this early. And caught by the goalkeeper. Cape Verde is also, there's not a lot of activity going on there. I mean, a nightmare situation for South Korea is if both teams tie. And that will put Korea in very much danger. Nothing much going on. I mean, you would like to see Spain get the victory. But also for Spain, depending what happens, if they just tie, then theoretically Spain can just get through. but you're kind of going to want to, you really don't want to put yourself in a position where you're playing with ties, because if you just tie, then all it's going to do is give Uruguay possible chances to exploit any mistakes, just like what happened with South Korea when they were trying to play a little bit too much defense. And now here is a long ball. That was a long ball and a possible cross opportunity. And Uruguay kicks it out. That's going to be a throw in. Got 10 minutes, no score so far. And same thing for Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, by the way, is going to be the host of the 2034 FIFA World Cup. I'll be 42 by then. My goodness. And there was a possible offsides. I wonder if the ref called it. And that was actually offsides call. Now it's going towards Uruguay's way. Coming up next is going to be New Zealand, Belgium, Egypt, and Iran. And your Spain, I mean, they've been possessing the ball pretty decent compared to Uruguay. And now Uruguay, they are pressing the attack. And now there's a through ball. They have a shot. He has possibly an open shot, but that was offsides anyway. And now that's going to be Spain's ball. I mean, he was clearly offsides. I mean, you would think that the odds for Saudi Arabia are at 11 minutes, and Spain has possession, but then Uruguay, they are taking advantage of Spain's mistake. But Spain is also just... We're at 12 minutes. We're at 12 minutes in. Now here's Uruguay. They have a chance. I guess not. Oh, no, here's Uruguay. They got the ball, and they might have a shot, and Spain, they're able to stop them. And it looks like it's going towards Spain's way because there was a foul. Not really good for South Korea if Spain's not really coming up with anything. But then again, the world does not revolve around South Korea. And the fact that South Korea has to depend on literally the entire world to get into the round of 32, it's really pathetic. I mean, we all know what's going to happen. Like a Hongyonbo-led team in the round of 32, it's probably going to be a 5-0 just humiliating defeat against potentially Egypt or Belgium. I mean, you would think that Belgium, they are probably going to beat New Zealand. So that's pretty much a throwaway game. And if the results hold, I mean, this would take South Korea out of contention for at least this game to help them get through, and they will be down to... They're obviously already down to the last day. Now here's Uruguay. They have a chance, and now here, and that is, he goes down, but that's going to be play on. Spain is playing very well defensively, at least giving Uruguay absolutely no opportunities. It's just that Spain's just not taking care of the ball right now. And now I stand corrected, and Uruguay's trying to get it cleared. They're at the top left. And now Spain, they get the ball back. And what are they trying to do? And now here's Spain. They're playing very aggressive, but there's not really much pressing attack going on. It's just that the skills that these Spanish players do have. And also, for anyone that cares, Cape Verde, they have a throw-in on their offensive possession. Now they're just trying to get it back to the goalkeeper to clear the ball. And he's clearing it out. And now Spain gets it back again. I mean, by the time that we have another World Cup, it's going to be a new decade by then, 2030. Who would have thought? And there's rumors of them expanding to a 64 format. And now you're Spain. They're trying to get it to the clear. It looks like Uruguay's just trying to park the bus and play with more counterattack. Now here is a cross, but nothing much doing. I mean, Uruguay's really playing very defensively. They are just playing for their survival. I mean, there's really not really in it much for anyone because I mean, if Spain ties, they're still going to finish number 1 unless Cape Verde, unless they beat Saudi Arabia. But I mean, everyone can technically play for a tie. At that point, it would just be Uruguay and Cape Verde just basically playing for second place. But Uruguay has a lot to play for because they would want to win so they can get to 5 points and have a more favorable matchup path for the World Cup. And now here's a header. Nope, and that header was just wide, just missing it. But Spain still has it. But now Uruguay is on the counterattack. And no one's really stopping them. And now it looks like Saudi Arabia might have a chance. I mean, if Saudi Arabia wins, they don't have to. I mean, they can win, but just doesn't have to be like by a huge amount. Riley thinks Spain will win. What makes you think Spain's going to win? Because it looks like Uruguay's playing in a much more defensive tactics. I mean, I think they're just trying to survive. We're at 16 minutes. Nothing much has been happening. Now we're getting up to the right area for themselves. And now here's Spain with a clear shot. No clear shot. And Uruguay's able to clear that. I mean, Uruguay, yeah, they've been having a very disappointing tournament so far. Spain's goalkeeper came all the way out. That was a big risk. We're at 17-14. Nothing is happening. Saudi Arabia has actually possessed most of the possessions. And here's Saudi Arabia with a shot. Nope, nothing happening. Cape Verde is playing very well defensively. Now Spain, they're just having some problems. Just a lot of parking the bus. I mean, Spain has completely outplayed Spain, 59-35. They've had majority of possession control. I mean, Uruguay's been able to frustrate Spain, but hopefully they can just break their defense eventually. Saudi Arabia on the other side, they are on the attacking. They have a free kick. Now we're at 18 minutes, and Uruguay's really just playing for their lives. Saudi is trying to complete their free kick. Now there's an opportunity. Here's Spain with a chance. And nothing doing. Saudi Arabia failed on the free kick. We're approaching the water break real soon. We're at 18 minutes. Nothing has happened. And that should be a corner kick, you would think. It's going to be a goal kick. For anyone in Seattle, if you're looking to go to the Egypt game against Iran, use that promo code Rooftop Sports, get your $20 off the purchase. Or if you're looking to go to any World Cup game. Now we're at 19 minutes. We're at the corner kick. Can Spain get the ball in to help South Korea? I mean, I know that Spain's not thinking about that. They're thinking about just winning their group or just not lose. And now here is the kick. And now here's a header possible. And the goalkeeper was out. He was out, but Uruguay was able to get that defended. I don't know why some KFA fans wants to reach the round of 32. For what? It's going to be another embarrassing game against Egypt or Belgium. It could be. It really depends how it goes. I mean, for me, I just want to go to Seattle and just experience a World Cup game. That's all. So it's probably part of my own selfish desires. But any other World Cup, I'd be like, no, just lose. Now here's a cross. No, nothing doing. I mean, yeah, they would just get absolutely embarrassed by Egypt for sure. And Korea also is known to be, okay, if we gave Belgium, it would be a different game. I don't rate Belgium. Oh, you don't think Belgium would be a tough opponent? It doesn't matter because Korea couldn't even beat South Africa. So either way, it's going to be a disastrous game for Korea. It's just to fulfill some of those dreams of the Korean Americans to just be able to watch a South Korea game in the United States, especially where Seattle actually does have a decent population. The other chance is for them to be in Foxborough. We're at 20 minutes in. Nothing has happened so far. If all results stand, this will put Korea in a much more deeper hole. Like this could actually put them at, I mean, this could really bump them down really badly. I mean, Cape Verde, they'll put South Korea at 8. I mean, and if you would think that if Croatia, if they beat Ghana or if they tie Ghana or anything, that's going to put them in a lot of trouble. So this is a very important day. If it is, then Korea could also, I think they could possibly be eliminated by today. And Cape Verde is on the attack. And they have a corner kick. I mean, you would think that Spain would be capable of just trying to get anything in, but they are just not doing anything. And we're getting close to the water break on both sides. That will include me flossing my teeth. Now here's Spain. Nice pass, but nope. And they have mostly possession and control. Spain is not having it, but now they have it back. There's not really much spacing enough. I mean, the idea that Cape Verde could be advancing to the round of 32 before South Korea does. And then here's Cape Verde with a corner, but Saudi Arabia clears it. Now here's Spain, and they have a really good opportunity. Now here's a cross, and they might have an open shot. No! Goalkeeper comes out wisely and is able to save it himself. Uruguay's defense has been real excellent today. I mean, if all results stands, South Korea will go all the way down to 8. And you can also safely say that Scotland is out of contention. Because Scotland's disastrous game against Brazil really did not help them. And now we are going into the hydration break. Going to take a look and see. So be it about the Saudi Arabia game. In Saudi Arabia, they've been playing pretty well. But they're just not getting any shots. They just can't get through Cape Verde's defense. And now Cape Verde, they're on the counterattack. And nothing much doing. And I think I'm just going to get a commercial break, you know. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful.
All right, I am back. What did I miss? Nothing much. I'm convinced Hong is a double agent and Hong is sports betting or both. I mean, if he bet on South Africa, he made a lot of money on that. So it wouldn't be exactly too crazy to think about. No, good old Pollo of Spain. Can't even say his name. Puyol. Used to play for Spain 2002, 2006, and 2010 teams. He was one of the better defenders in the world. Hydration break has been done, both from Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde, along with Uruguay and Spain. And here's the goal kicked from Uruguay. Spain's able to counter immediately. I mean, you would think that Spain, they would be able to capably score against Brazil, but if the result stands, I mean, that would put Spain back in first place anyway. So it's not like they're really playing for gold anyway. But Spain's still going to want to score because in case that Cape Verde scores against Saudi Arabia and wins, then Spain. Now here is going to be a cross by Uruguay. Here's the cross, and that was very dangerous. Uruguay almost got it. That was across the penalty area, and Uruguay still has the ball. I'm not saying it's only a matter of time until Uruguay scores. And now Spain gets it anyway. I mean, you would think the way that now here's going to be a nice little through ball, and Spain might have the advantage. He's got numbers, had numbers. Now here's going to be a cross, and that is deflected, and goalkeeper has it. I guess another alternative scenario is if Saudi Arabia beats Cape Verde or Cape Verde. That could be the other possibility, but you can't really bank on Saudi Arabia to do that because they've been having a very disappointing tournament themselves. The Asian Cup, by the way, in 2027 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. I've had considerations of going. I thought about going if South Korea does not advance the round of 32, because if they're in the round of 32, I'm going to make the trip to fulfill my World Cup dream, which South Korea has completely taken it away from me. In Spain, they've been able to do some decent counterattack. Oh no, and now here is Uruguay. They have the advantage. Now here's a cross and caught by the goalkeeper. That was a chance for Uruguay to score. And the fact that we have to depend on Spain to do this, and then tomorrow it's going to be even worse. And Austria and Algeria is in the picture too. I mean, you would think that South Korea is watching both these games. I mean, you would think, I mean, it's pretty clear that South Korea has been having very difficult emotional practices, probably just more of apathy. I mean, all they're thinking is probably about all these results. Tomorrow we got Panama and England and Croatia and Ghana, which Ghana does need. Ghana has to win. You got 30 minutes, and Spain hasn't really gotten a legitimate shot on target. Just like Korea didn't even have a legitimate shot on target either. Saudi Arabia is dealing with some injuries right now. Now here's Uruguay. They are on the attack. There's a cross. And nothing doing right there. And that's going to be a goal kick. Nothing good is going on. Uruguay and Spain are playing in Guadalajara, Mexico. And I wonder where Cape Verde is playing right now. They're playing in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Texans. Now, Spain is in possession again, but Uruguay is just playing completely park the bus. I think Uruguay is just really playing for a tie in reality. And now here's Uruguay. They're on the counterattack. And now they're starting to outplay them just a little bit more. And a foul, and Uruguay's able to draw the foul. Uruguay will host the opening match of the 2030 World Cup. And I think they'll have at least the group stage games. I mean, that was like a little bit of a flop job by Uruguay. And someone's actually being carted off the field. Oh, not good for Saudi Arabia. Now we got 31 minutes in. There's absolutely no activity. Like, theoretically, if all these teams tie, I mean, there's really no strike against them. Now here's a kick. And caught by the goalkeeper, but he falls down. And now he's an open shot, possibly. Now here's a shot. Oh, my goodness. How did Uruguay not score on that? The goalkeeper was way out of the goal area. And now here's Spain. Almost had a breakout attack. And now let's do a slide tackle. Uruguay is really just fighting for their lives. Now we're at 32 minutes. Nothing much doing. Getting close to the 33-minute mark. Now we got 32 minutes. Spain has it on top, but Uruguay's they're really just parking the bus. And now here's a cross. Oh my goodness, that was almost a shot on goal, but it was caught by the goalkeeper. Now we're at 33 minutes, and goalkeeper of Spain gets it. Spain is still outdoing them in possession, but Spain is pretty much just parking the bus, or Uruguay's parking the bus. Man, if everything ties, this could be the worst case scenario for Korea. I mean, literally everything has been going against Korea. Now Cape Verde is on the attack, and they might have a goal there. Nope, they don't have it. Oh, nope. Now here's Spain on the attack. Nope, Uruguay is just stopping them at every turn. I mean, Uruguay is actually have more of a better chance than South Korea does to make it to the round of 32. Now we're at 34 minutes. Nothing much really doing. No score is going on so far. Getting close to 35 minutes. And it's like no one's really trying to press on the attack. But Spain have really been outplaying them. It's just Uruguay's been able to stop them. And they just keep throwing the ball away. And now Uruguay could be on the attack, but they don't really have the numbers. I mean, it does. I mean, when you're depending on teams to try to win games, especially in Korea's favor, I mean, it's a lot to ask it for at this point. I mean, even like the best team going up against the worst team, it actually doesn't really matter. I mean, you got the best teams that they have already secured their first seed, and they pretty much just sit their players out. So if anything, the head-to-heads has really hurt Korea, but Korea hurt themselves too. Now here's Uruguay going for the attack, and it goes over the head of the goalkeeper, and that is going to be a goal kick, but it was a good attempt by Uruguay. Just want to see what Joel Kim is saying. Nothing much going on. If it stands, Spain goes through easily as the #1 seed. And Cape Verde would also have a really good chance too if they tie, unless Saudi Arabia is able to finish them. Now Spain is doing on the fouls. And the results hold. Spain wins the group, and Uruguay finishes second, and now it's going to be up to Saudi Arabia to beat Cape Verde. Spain just cannot get through. I mean, the only way, if Korea just had hired any other coach other than Hong Yong-bo and Han Tanong, maybe I wouldn't even be giving this much of these games attention. They'd probably be in LA by now. I would be talking about just resting going to LA. Now I'm just hoping that they end up in Seattle as a third seed, just get destroyed by Egypt. Cape Verde was actually had a chance to score. Now we're at 38 minutes. Uruguay now has the possession. Nothing much happening. Oh my goodness. And there's an advantage. Yeah, no foul called. Or it could be a foul. Wonder what the ref is going to say to the Uruguayan player. Just absolutely nothing going on in these games. I mean, it's just frustrating that South Korea and people like us, we have to just wait and see what the other teams do. Like, I've never been just that frustrated. Uruguay, no, it's just nothing much. Cape Verde is now on the attack. We're at 40 minutes in. And he boots it out. And he gets it through. There's still advantage. Uruguay's kind of down to 10 men, so this is really a chance for Spain to attack because they don't have enough defense. But now they're just playing, and you try to sell the flop, and the ref wasn't having it. And now here is a cross, and now you're Spain, and now here's a shot, and that's going to be a goal! That's a goal for Spain! And now they have taken a 1-0 lead, and that means if the result holds, South Korea's magic number is going to be down to 2. What a goal by Spain to get on the board right before the end of the first half. It was off the save, off the blocking of the goalkeeper, and the ball just happened to roll in. Oh my goodness. Goal for Spain. Muy bien, amigos. And that is exactly what they needed. It was a great shot. Now Spain just has to do more. And now if Uruguay, if they lose, then they are effectively out of this tournament, as Uruguay has just been an absolute disarray. Spain definitely needed that. So as of now, that could put Uruguay in the number 3. Yeah, that would effectively have them eliminated out of the tournament. Absolutely mathematically. It looks like someone's getting carted out. And it's a Uruguayan player. Hopefully he is okay. So as of now, Cape Verde would be advancing and Uruguay would be out. Amazingly, Saudi Arabia still has a lot to play for. Because if they win, then Cape Verde would be out and Saudi Arabia would actually sneak in. So yeah, Saudi Arabia would actually sneak in. Cape Verde would be out and Uruguay would be out. So Saudi Arabia still has a lot to play for. Now we're starting again. At this point, all I want is just for a round of 32, just to watch Korea get absolutely humiliated in the round of 32. And then, unfortunately, that would keep Hong Yong-bo's job. I mean, So it's really not a win-win situation at all. So if the result holds, the magic number will be down to 2. And realistically, after today, if all these results go for Korea's way, the only magic number would be 1. But the problem is, once you get to tomorrow, things get very dicey. You would need. Problem is, need Austria to beat Algeria or Algeria to win by 2. So it's still not completely out of it. You just don't want them to tie. And it makes you wonder that if any of them, if the results really do hold it to the end, it makes you wonder if they are going to play to park the bus. I mean, there's really not really anything in it for them. I mean, yes. I mean, Argentina is already, so at that point, they're just going to be fighting for the number 2, really. So technically, it's just to play for number 2. But do they really care who they're going to play for number 2, if especially for the Group J's? So it really, I mean, that Germany one was really the most devastating one. Now here's Uruguay. They're on the attack, and nothing much doing. And by the way, this is an 8-minute stoppage time because of all the injuries. So runner-up Group J, they would be playing one of the top teams. You'll be playing against Spain. So basically, you're just playing to avoid Spain. And then Group L, you're playing against the winner of the England group. I mean, but basically, like, is it really that much of a difference? Uruguay would be eliminated if the result holds, which they've had a very embarrassing performance. But then at that point, like, so let's say if you're playing Spain, I mean, the winner of group I or Group K, it's Group H. So who would play the winner of Group H is the question. I mean, Group H, it's also, I guess, about avoiding Argentina. Got maybe about 3 minutes to go until the halftime. We're at 50 minutes because it's the stoppage time. And it's going to be a foul going for Uruguay. In halftime, Cape Verde, if they hold, they might advance as long as Spain holds. Now, Uruguay, they have a chance for a shot. There's a cross. Oh, and Spain with a good save. And he was offsides anyway, it looked like. Now we're at 52 minutes in. Now we're at 52 minutes in. Now here's a shot. No, nothing much doing. But that should be the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of it for the half. And Spain has now taken a 1-0 lead. Definitely would like them to score a little bit more to get more cushion out of it. And we'll be back after this timeout as we are going into the half. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thin crust.
Ugh. All right, let's see where we're at. So, theoretically, according to my friend Joel Kim, if South Korea, I'm sorry, if Spain beats Uruguay, magic number will be 2. Then Egypt has to beat Iran. And then Austria has to just not tie. They just have to beat Algeria, or Algeria just has to beat Austria by 2 goals. So I don't know how that is really going to go. I mean, let's see how Austria really did. I mean, here's what we've got. Argentina they just embarrassed Algeria 3-0. That was all on Lionel Messi. I mean, look at that. Messi is just playing at a high level. 5 goals already. And Algeria just narrowly beat Jordan. I think it would have been more ideal if Jordan just won, maybe. I don't know. And then we've got Jordan and Argentina, which doesn't really matter. Algeria has been known to score 2 goals. Austria won 3-1 against Jordan. So, I mean, they're both capable goal scorers, I guess, but it depends how they do it on each other. I mean, look at all the players for Austria and Algeria. Austria is currently ranked 24 in the world. Their highest was 10th in 2016 somehow. And they have a lot of German Bundesliga players. So there's that. And they have a decent Austria league, I would think, where Hongi-chan used to play for Salzburg. And then here's Algeria. Algeria's greatest player was Islam Slimani. He played until he was 38 years old. I mean, club-wise for him, Slimani, I mean, he played in a lot of places. Played in Belgium. Mostly played with the Sporting CP in Portugal. And Algeria themselves, what kind of players do they have? They have a lot of good overseas. They have a lot of overseas players. They play in France, Bayern Leverkusen, Germany, Netherlands. Like, this is basically, if you think about it, this is basically the French JV team. A lot of them were born not only in Algeria, but some of them were actually born in France. And there are a few of them born in France, so they're basically the French JV team. Junior varsity team is what it basically is. I guess there's a lot of French people that would cheer for Algeria, and Algerians would actually cheer for the French. I mean, wonder what their relationship is in the world. I'm gonna look it up myself. What's the relationship between Algeria and France? That's actually one of the closest relationship, but also one of the most complicated ones. Millions of people in France have Algerian heritage. France is one of Algeria's largest trading partners. And when you think of Algeria, Algeria is known to be a very highly Islam country. 99% of them are Islam. I want to look at the Algeria nightlife. Algeria's nightlife is the modest, discreet, heavily centered around social coffee houses hotel lounges, sprawling club scenes. So there's a lot of things to do in Algeria. Has a nice nightlife, mostly of Northern Africa. Very stable lifestyles over there. Egypt has been known to have like a lot of nightlife stuff going on too. France destroyed Norway 4-1, but Norway did advance anyway. Senegal won 5-0 to Iraq, which really screwed over South Korea. Iraq has been effectively eliminated. Senegal, they are pretty much in. Makes you wonder who's going to play against Germany in New England. I mean, Uruguay's in trouble right now. Scotland is pretty much out. And now looking at Austria, they're at 3-3, so they have to win by 2. If Algeria has to win by 2, but if they win by 1 goal, then what's really in it for them? So effectively, you would want Austria to win. Crazy thing about Belgium is none of their players have even scored. And the other idea is Congo. Not really ideal. I mean, I could be covering as many games as possible. I mean, Croatia versus Ghana, Congo versus Uzbekistan, and Algeria versus Austria. It's going to be a very busy Saturday for me to cover all of these, which actually could happen. Oh boy. I mean, hopefully, if Ghana beats Croatia? I mean, Croatia hasn't exactly been on a good scoring end either. I mean, they scored 2 goals against England, and they narrowly defeated Panama. And ideally, Panama tying them would have been more ideal. I mean, going into the Egypt group, I mean, Egypt has been playing very well in this World Cup. They tied. I mean, a nightmare scenario would be Egypt tying, or Iran winning the game too would actually be a nightmare too. And Iran's been playing very well defensively. And it looks like players are taking back the field. Cape Verde, they just have to tie and have Spain win, and then they'll be number 2. Saka plays for England. Had no idea. Nigerian too. Now, second half is about to start for Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. I would expect the same for Spain. Now we're at 45 minutes in. And now here's Uruguay. They're trying to get back on the attack. And now here is a chance for Uruguay already. And Spain clears it out, but Uruguay still has it. Could go for a shot. I wonder if Spain is just trying to park the bus. And that's going to be dropped. It's going to be a foul. It's going to go towards Uruguay's direction. Looks like there's going to be a yellow card. Now we're at 46 minutes in. They have a chance to hit back, too. Now here's the kick. The header. And that was deflected away. They'll do a throw in. Cape Verde could actually advance to the round of 32. And now here's a chance for Uruguay. And goalkeeper had to get out there. I think Spain's probably just playing for whatever. Just playing to survive now that they have a goal to boot. Oh my gosh, Spain had to really survive that one. We're at 49 minutes in. Nothing much has happened so far. And I just read something very disturbing, and it's something that us Koreans. Here it is. It really gets worse, and you're a passionate Korean fan. Maybe this is like something where you would say that South Korea should not play in the round of 32. Hopefully that they don't make it, because when you read something, it just ruins everything for you with the politics. But here's what it was as Uruguay's trying to attack. So here are the potential candidates that South Korea missed out on. And now here is a chance for Uruguay. And crazy thing, if Saudi Arabia scores and wins, they'll advance to the round of 32. Now we're at 50 minutes in. And nothing doing there. So here's how it goes. As Uruguay is kind of on the attack, but really on a slow pace. Paulo Bento, the World Cup round of 16 coach for South Korea, he was rejected because he wanted a 4-year contract through 2026. So it was like, okay, they just didn't want to give him the money, which is still disappointing. And Uruguay just threw the ball away. Jesse Marsh, and this one's really going to make your blood boil. Strong foreign candidate, United States coach, talk failed. Some committee members reportedly didn't even know who he was. Gus, and now he's in Canada, who has taken them to the round of 32. Gus Poyet, final foreign interview candidate of ultimately he was interviewed but was dropped. David Wagner, final foreign interview candidate, considered but dropped. Evaluation standards were unclear, so a lot of miscommunication. And they went to get Hong Yong-bo, who is going to be the coach until 2027 Asian Cup. Reported salary of 2 billion won, $2 million. Domestic coaches should be paid like foreign coaches was the reason. Now here's Spain on the attack. I mean, reading stuff like that just makes you not want Korea to make it to the round of 32 at all. Especially with a very generational, talented team. And now here's where it gets worse. Appointment controversy. Government audit said there were rule and procedure violations, including an unauthorized technical director recommended candidates. Hong's interview had no prior questions or observers and reportedly took place late at night near his home. Board procedures were described as merely formal. That's really bad. Like, I really have to do this. Like, it's really, really bad. Like, it's worse than what I am reading. Like, it really is. And they hired Hong Yong-bo. Just absolute audacity. It's like Uruguay's been shown the yellow card. Can't believe that they would go for home Bowl like that. Like, I almost don't even want a round of 32 for South Korea. Now we're at 54 minutes in. Uruguay is on the attack. Now Cape Verde's on the corner kick. Now here's a corner. Nothing doing. Now Uruguay has the advantage. Now they're giving a free kick. Ugh. And it almost makes you not want Korea to make it to the round of 32. Like, prior to this World Cup, I actually wanted South Korea to just lose out this World Cup for a desperate chance of a regime change. Now, goal kick. Now, Spain is on the attack. Now, here's a cross. No, nothing doing. I mean, Spain, I would like to see one more goal just for a little bit more of a cushion. And Cape Verde is struggling to score. Things have not really gone to script. Also, for a Mariners fan that actually cares, they're winning 3-1. Colt Emerson hit a home run. We're at 58 minutes in. Now here's a corner kick by Spain, And now a header, no header doing. We're getting close to 60 minutes. I think Spain is pretty much just playing on defense. And oh no, here is Uruguay with an opportunity. Now here's a cross. And Uruguay just keeps screwing it up. Now we're at 60 minutes in. Spain and Cape Verde would advance. Uruguay would be eliminated. Now here is an opportunity. No opportunity. Here's actually still it's gonna go out of bounds. I mean, the crazy thing is Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia could be tying. Now it's gonna be. Looks like could be a water break coming up. It's getting close to soon. And throw in. Now here's Spain again. Oh, no whistle. Now we're at 62 minutes in. Now here's going to be a potential shot. And that goes over. We're at 63 minutes in. Now here's a cross. And Uruguay was very close to scoring that one. Now we're at 64 minutes in. We're at 65 minutes in. Still showing the goal. And there was supposed to be a free kick for Spain, but it didn't happen. And it's going to be offsides. So I'm going to read a little bit more. When the Korean Football Association appointed Hong Yong-bo after negotiations with Jesse Marsh collapsed, and other candidates were Gus Poyet and David Wagner, the KFA, and we're in a hydration break, the KFA selected Hong as their top priority, among them saying that he was tactically the best fit for the national team. And now Jesse Marsh is now coaching Canada. This guy says Wagner brought in pages of books he prepared for the job, including 50 players that he took a look at in the K-League and plans on building the Korean football. We could have had something. Why was it so hard to pick those guys? Korea needs an offensive coach, maybe more of a defensive coach. I mean, this kind of stuff just makes you want your heart to boil. It really just does. I mean, Hong Yong-bo, his legacy is about to be tarnished. South Korea now has a 40% chance to advance, but their chances might go up a little bit if Spain wins. Denali, I don't like when you're so critical to Korea. Be critical of a different country. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's cute. That's cute. That's really cute. Man, that Guadalajara stadium is beautiful. I really should have been there. Spain is 20 minutes away from winning the group and giving South Korea an edge. Tomorrow's going to be the final day of group stages. I mean, South Korea going to the round of 32 really just doesn't sound ideal anymore after reading all of that, knowing what Korea really could have had and should have had, and they just completely just threw it away. Like, it's just frustrating when you just read stuff like that. Cape Verde and Spain would progress if Uruguay is to be eliminated. Now here's a chance for Uruguay, and not so much. And now Spain, they're on the attack and they have numbers. And this could be a second goal for them. And look at that space that Uruguay's creating. Nice pass. And I think he's going to go for the shot. Here is a possible shot. Here's the opening. Oh, man, he just wasted it. So much hesitation. But Spain gets the ball back. Are they going to attack? Like, come on, what are you doing? We're at 71 minutes. Now you're Saudi Arabia, nothing much doing. This game could just be settled for a tie. Wow. South Korea is now down to 7th. Unless Ghana wins. Korea, I mean, that could be the last time you see them in the rankings at this point. Spain's in really good shape. We're in good shape. And now they're trying to attack again. Oh, nice moves by Spain. And now they are on the attacking end again. And he just threw the ball away. South Korean fans have launched a petition for calling manager Hong Yong-bo to be axed. Yeah. I think I want to sign that petition. Like, this has really been on the aware. They'll be playing against Egypt in Seattle. I think if you're more of a top seed, you go to New England, or you go to Seattle, I guess, or more of the lower parts. I don't know. And Uruguay, they're still on the attacking end. And nope, nothing doing there. Spain has the advantage, and they possibly have numbers. They have some decent spacing. That's where it's 75 minutes. As of now, it looks like South Korea would be playing in Seattle. I don't know how much of the vibes it's really going to be. And that really should be a foul. There's going to be some substitutions. I think they might end up in New England. Will you go to the game in Seattle? Yes, it will. Ticket prices are actually pretty cheap right now. So I'm just waiting to see where they would go. And kicking it out. Uruguay is really running out of time. They just have to score, and then they can get themselves through. Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde still at 0-0. Still got 23 minutes left in this match. We're at 77 minutes in. What is considered cheap? I heard the games are over $2,000 each for the next round. There's some $700 games for the round of 32. Some are around in the thousands. The World Cup games here were cheaper than Seattle. In Los Angeles, I guess. I was going to be in Los Angeles if Korea made it, but nope. Like a Paulo Bento team would have put them in Los Angeles. Offsides against Uruguay. We're at 78 minutes in. After this, I'll be taking a break. Now here's Uruguay. Oh, Uruguay had a chance. Oh my goodness. Now we're at 78 minutes in. Uruguay is running out of time. Foul it will go to Uruguay's direction. It's been a very disappointing for Uruguay, but helped South Korea. But then after what I read about the coaching hiring process, really makes me almost not want them to make it to the round of 32. Now we're at 79 minutes. Uruguay's trying to score. Now here's a cross. Now, that's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. I think Spain's just pretty much playing defensively at this point because what do they really have to lose? I mean, Korea was going to have a very easy path to the quarterfinals, and they're just really disappointed. There's a long ball. And Spain's trying to act on the flop. Saudi Arabia is trying to make some moves. Nothing doing. Saudi Arabia is running out of time. They're on the verge of facing elimination. Now here's a cross. Here's Uruguay. Oh, no. Uruguay is just really screwing it up every time they can. I'll be doing the Egypt game tonight. Egypt versus Iran will be tonight. Oh my gosh, Cape Verde nearly got a goal. Oh. Saudi Arabia is running out of time. All right, 83 minutes. It's getting close for South Korea's magic number to be down to 2. I mean, just to what? Get humiliated in the round of 32? Is it really worth it to them? And even if Korea does win against Egypt, they have to go up against the United States in Seattle. Isn't that great? The United States will be in path for Seattle for July 6th. We're at 84 minutes in. Now here's a shot. Oh, saved by Spain. A huge save. And even if Korea beats Germany, they probably have to go against France. Rather than they could have gone for Morocco or Netherlands. Just how embarrassing. Just lost opportunity for South Korea. Then you have to go up against the host nation again, against the United States, and they'll just slaughter Korea. We're at 85 minutes in. And even if, prospectively, South Korea goes up, you're going to be playing against winner of like the Group H's, which would be Spain. And I don't know if you'll be interested in that. Now here's a shot. Oh, off the crossbar. Spain had a shot, and they completely just blew it. Group K and L, you'll either be playing Portugal or Colombia, or you're going to be playing England and Ghana or Croatia. So South Korea's path is not really ideal. Like at this point, at best, maybe the round of 16, and that should still be considered disappointment. We're at 86 minutes in. Spain had a chance to score. Saudi Arabia is running out of time. But they do have a chance. Saudi Arabia has fought valiantly, but they're running out of time. It looks like Cape Verde is going to try to score. When Korea just beat Czechia, they were just really that bad. We're at 87 minutes. Time's critically running out for Uruguay. And I think this half's gone a little bit faster, so I think they're going to get maybe 5 minutes. But Cape Verde, they're on the verge of heading to the round of 32. Some USA fans there. They just wanted to experience the World Cup themselves. We're at 88 minutes. Cape Verde would go up against Argentina, it looks like. Now here's Uruguay. Is there any last-second heroics on them to get themselves into the round of 32? And they would be facing Argentina themselves. Now here's a shot. No shot. Saudi Arabia's time is running critical. And you hate to see it. Five minutes of added time for Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Now we're at 89 minutes. And there's a cross. Now here's a cross and dangerous. And there's a chance. And there's still a chance. And they're going to go for it. That could be a penalty. I wonder if they're going to VAR that one. I mean, he was down. He's trying to sell the penalty. As of now, it's going Spain's way. Still unclear what the stoppage time is. That's very controversial. He got in front. I mean, it's a pretty good case for a possible penalty. Not a penalty. So 5 minutes. It was nearly a penalty. I mean, ideally, you would want Saudi Arabia to win. I mean, Spain looks like they're doing their jobs. Oh, Saudi Arabia almost scored. Could have gotten them into the round of 32. Oh, Spain had to make a save there. Getting close to 3 minutes left. Uruguay's critically running out of time, just like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, who hasn't advanced into the knockout stage since the 1994 World Cup. And their time is critically running out, along with Uruguay. 3 minutes away, and then Spain and Cape Verde advances. Now there's a cross. Nope, nothing happening. Now there's a huge kick. Long ball. No. Now there's Uruguay. There could be a shot there. Two minutes left for Saudi Arabia. It looks like there's a yellow card going against Uruguay. Uruguay is really showing a lot of frustrations. And that could extend it a little bit. A huge yellow card. Nicolas de la Cruz now has the yellow card. One minute. There's an opportunity for Spain again. Could they do it? As Uruguay's time is critical. And there's a huge throw-in for Saudi Arabia. Nothing doing. Almost 1 minute left. In Cape Verde, they might be on the verge of scoring. Another one, a red card. And now you can pretty much kiss Uruguay goodbye. Oh my goodness, Cape Verde almost scored. Flags up offsides, but Uruguay's pretty much out. Cape Verde advances. Yep, Cape Verde just tied. And you would think that they are going to the round of 32. And now the game's pretty much over at this point. Red card, down to 10 men. Augustine Canobirio just got a red card. Still trying to talk to the ref as Uruguay's run of the World Cup is pretty much over. They are down to 10 players. Now we're at 95 minutes. I think it's just a matter of the final whistle at this point. And that is it. Well, pretty much. Maybe just one more play to put in the final dagger. And there's maybe one more chance. This is their last possession, possibly. And nope, nothing doing there. Ref is still giving more time. That's Spain's ball. You pretty much, South Korea should be at magic number 2. Now it's just a matter of time. And that's the whistle. Spain has defeated Uruguay. Uruguay is going home. And that possibly means that South Korea, magic number is 2. Thanks to Spain's victory, South Korea's magic number is down to 2. So that means Uruguay is gone. They are going home. Uruguay has been effectively eliminated. Now all is left is Senegal. They are pretty much in. Unless some weird things happen. I mean, they're pretty much that pretty much is taken. Croatia, you would think they have a chance. Scotland, they are pretty much out at this point. Like, I would pretty much just put them as red. Cape Verde has advanced. Congratulations to them. Now it's just left is the ones to hope for is, I mean, Belgium's not really relevant to us unless Egypt and Iran does something really, really stupid. But Egypt beating Iran is to make sure that Iran doesn't get to 3 points. I mean, you would think that it's all about trying to beat Iran. And I would probably put Iran in there instead of Belgium. But yep, South Korea is down to 7. And if Iran goes home, that gives room for Korea. But anyways, yep, now Iran needs to lose to Egypt. And I will actually be back. This is now my hour break. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Riley, for being here. We actually became good friends on Twitter X. And for those that were there, thank you very much. And I'll be back in an hour. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal. And you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code ROOFTOPSPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you.